on the Act Real Studio Lounge, we have Miss Jodie Moncrief. Welcome.
Thank you. I am so excited. First of all, I want to say that was so much fun in
I
Vegas.
know.
And I love seeing you put your team together. I love it.
It was great. Okay, this is like, okay, we never really talk about this, but let's tell them. Should we tell them?
Let's do it.
Okay, so Jodie and I, and a couple of other the instructors' friends, went to Vegas. Literally, like last week. You know, because what happens in Vegas stays in Vegas.
Stays in Vegas.
And dude, did we like tear it up? We tore it up. We went into the jacuzzi, and people were trying to buy us drinks, and I'm sitting there reading a book, and you're sitting there laying down, and the guy's like, hey, and I'm like, wow, I'm not going to go over near them because they're getting too much attention. So I'm going to go the other way. And you were so great. I went because this one is an educator. She's a business therapist and helps you really like analyze your business, understand etiquette, understand what it takes to be successful, how to deal with people, interactions, contracts, things like that. We'll get into what Jodie does a little bit more because she's my $1 million matchmaker for anything that I need. And truly it's about like being there watching you on stage, sharing that information with everybody. I just knew I was so blessed. I was so happy. I was like, yes, I got Jodie. And then you introduced me to a few more people. But let's talk about you first.
What
so
about?
give them a little background on how you and I met.
Oh, yes.
And then what you're up to and what you're doing with me.
Okay, I don't know where to start.
I know, there's so much. And I'm going to try not to jump in.
So, no, jump in. You
I
gotta
will,
jump in.
but I talk all the time. So
No,
I want to listen.
jump in. I love it when you jump in.
Okay.
So we met spontaneously, and we decided probably in less than 3 hours that we were going to work together. We didn't know what that looked like, but we decided we're moving together, we're going for it, and we're putting together a team. And so what I do is I'm an entrepreneur, and I've been for years and years. I do workshops, I do one-on-one coaching, and I
With
help
me,
people.
by
Yes,
the way.
yes, yes.
She's my coach.
Yep.
I'm coaching her too.
Yes,
so.
yes. It's a
It's
mutual deal. Mutual
and that's
deal.
what we love at Acro in our collaborations. So many of these instructors are just phenomenal. And we all wanted to work together to bring something different to the industry. So that's why I'm so grateful about the team that we're putting together, because we're all doing it with our heart. We're not doing it for money. We're doing it because we decided we need to do something about this, that, and the other. Will you work with me? I'm just getting started. They were like, yeah, I'm on board. And I'm like, dope. This is awesome.
Yeah, and we're putting together the team, and so I'm going to help. I'm going to help people that are trying to get into the business, and help them with business etiquette, being gracious, little tips on how to stand out in your audition, other than being, saying your lines or doing your improv or whatever you're doing. My deal is how you're going to be remembered and how you're going to be professional, and a lot more other than that I can go into later. But
So cool.
but I want to talk about how fun. Here we are in Vegas, and this gal that I had known, we connected her with you, Katie Power.
And I was like, wait, I'm here meeting like other people. I'm doing all this stuff. You got this book. I don't know. She's like, no, TJ, you got to meet her. It's Katie. You're going to want to meet her. And she goes, she's a vocal coach. And I was like, ooh, a vocal coach. I met a few vocal coaches because obviously I did America's Got Talent forever, and I did like all these singing shows. So I had a list of vocal coaches, but it didn't come top of mind. And then I meet Katie Power.
Woo!
Power to the power.
Power.
Katie Power.
Power. And
Power. Katie Power.
Oh my gosh, she is amazing, and it was so fun to see you guys meet, and that was actually the first time I met her in person. And she wrote her book, she's on board. I can't wait till she is a part. She already is a part, but diving in there.
To introduce her to everyone.
To everyone,
Like,
yes.
There's so many wonderful people that I want to introduce to the community, When you think about what we do, it needs to be much more comprehensive, and it needs to be much more felt like we're on your team,
Yes. And all around, we're not teaching you one thing, we're not just teaching you this and that, we're teaching you all the different aspects.
I call it 360 casting.
Yes.
Emotional, physical, mental. We give you health tips. Like that's what Acro Studio, my whole goal is just to bring on people that can help us, that we can be a value add. And the other thing is, one of the things I'm excited about is what Katie's going to be doing with the singing. And she has like vocal cords and like influencer pockets and so much. And then my other friend, Danielle, she's a big casting director and she's done so many different shows and really wants to share with the community about, what it means, like when you're doing like a fashion show, or what it means when you have to go and go do the audition in the room, because she has a lot of background going to do this with some very successful people. They would bring her in and she would talk to them all the time, and I said, Danielle, you've been in so many rooms, would you be willing to come on Acro Studio? She's like, no, I want to work, I want to do it too. And I'm like, yay.
Okay, so not only do these people that come to us, our students, to Actreal Studio, get one casting director, they get at least two casting directors to give them advice and direct them. And wow, I mean,
yeah.
What more can you say?
And let's talk about Jodie and emotional intelligence.
Oh
right?
My gosh.
So one of our instructors, one of the things that as a person who goes into entertainment, whether you're a singer or a professional theater person, whatever it might be, you're always challenged with, meeting new people, interacting with new people, dropping a dime. They want you to perform, like Nancy Ann, she's a comic, but she's also a nurse, so she don't want to be funny all the time. There might be points where it's not appropriate, but not being able to do that.
Yes, emotional health, mental health. Everything is important. All the pieces.
Yeah.
Complete, like you said, 360. That is exactly. Who else are we?
Amanda's gonna be like, she's such an encourager. Like the point of when you go and you're beating yourself up. I call it. She's like the mindset madness. That we put on. But she's gonna give you a new mindset of how to think differently when you walk out, and how to approach things from a place of just observation as opposed to internalization. A lot of it is not about you not being liked or not being right. It's that constant rejection mindset. We got to break that cycle. And I'm so proud of Amanda and the work that she's done and what Dottie's doing with emotional intelligence.
Yes.
And just even with what, you're doing, what Nancy Ann's doing, what Danielle's doing, what I'm going to do, it's all a very, very well thought out, very impactful education.
Yes. And I was going to say the other thing is self-worth. So you get to go to all these auditions and your self-worth is, being worked on there. You have a hard time taking the rejection. So self-worth, and then the other side of it is having a big ego, which you don't want a big gigantic ego. You don't want, you want to have a healthy ego, but you don't want to be so egotistical that people are going, oh my gosh, she's too much. We need to kind of tone her down. So the self-worth is really important. Knowing who you are, knowing what's important to you, identifying your values, and, acting within that framework.
Yeah. I think one of the things that I like about our approach with Acro Studio is the fact that we do these assessments, right?
Yes.
So the assessments, I think, are the key. Because you got to know yourself first. You just have to start with you. And how many of us really know ourselves? How many of us know all those little intricacy things that make us tick or not tick? Because you really want to be able to separate who you are from what you do.
Yes. And have that help you with your integrity.
Yes.
So if you, if you have a role that you feel be comfortable in and that does not match your values, or, you're being asked to be photographed nude and that's not something that you would do. So it helps you stay within your boundaries, setting boundaries and staying within them.
And it's really also one of the other things that we do in the Ways of LA series that we're launching is I talk about not being taken advantage of and the predators. There's
Big
a lot
time.
of predators. We work with young kids and their families, and that's what I like about having the parents there, because we educate the parent as much as we do the child. Not a lot of acting classes, places do that. They don't really bring the parents along. And to your point, and to what we were talking about before, is the parents can also be the biggest problem, right? With the diva mentality
Yes.
and the attitude. It's like your mother ruined that for you, dude. You had nothing
Yes.
to do with it.
Yes, that's a
Another
biggie.
thing that we have to
Oh my
worry
gosh,
about.
no diva mothers.
Or fathers.
Or fathers.
Right, right. But they don't know, and I think, to the mom and dad's credit, a lot of times they're doing it from the right place. They're doing it from love. You just, like, don't want your child to be taken advantage of, and that's why I want to point you in the right direction, right? I want to help you understand what are the boundaries, what are the reset buttons, what can you say no to, what should you say no to, and think about the long-term strategy, not the today. You got to think about this as a long-term game, and what are you willing to invest, right?
Yes,
Because
exactly.
it's a lot of investment.
Exactly.
You're never going to be successful if your parent don't take you to that audition.
Oh, they got to take you, and they got to be present.
And they have to be present.
Yes.
But we also want them to be engaged
Yes.
and
Yes.
feel a part of the process.
Yes.
And that's what I'm really happy about, being able to share more with the moms, because I'm a mom, and I think that, and my mother got me into television.
Oh,
right?
I didn't know that.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Yeah. At 11 years old, my mother, if you want to watch it, it's on YouTube. Watch it go to acrostudio.com. You can find it, because they made me put it there.
11
And I
years.
was like, really? You're going to have me put this up there? All right. Well, at least I'm I was about to say OG, legit, authentic, and that was all one word. Somehow that was about to be one word. But when I was 11 years old, my mom submitted for me to go on Card Sharks, and they had a young person's week, and I came home one day to this really big manila envelope that said NBC Studios, da 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 da. And she was like, Mama, because I've always been somebody's mother, even when I was a kid, telling everybody what to do. Mama, do you want to audition for this? I said, oh, that sounds like fun. I'll do it. I didn't really know what I was doing. So I went out, and there were about apparently there were over 4,000 kids who auditioned. And even when you got there, you weren't really necessarily that you were going to get on, because they, back then, and still to this day, you had to pull a number. And if your number didn't come up, you didn't go on that day. You might have been brought back. Mm-hmm. And what happened to me was I ended up not only going on one day, but I ended up being on 2 days, a cliffhanger. It was this whole thing. But I'll say that to say, my mother was with me, and my mother had to do the work. I had to be a willing participant, but we had to be a team.
That's important. And so isn't it sometimes like they might even just not like or like your look?
Oh,
right?
Yeah.
They don't have to have a reason to.
That never happens.
Right. We like her look. No,
or we
get rid
don't
of him.
like her
Or
look.
we don't like his
or
look.
Or she's to this, or they to that, or he's
right.
to this. Or,
and you just never know. And I think Nancy Ann brought a good point, which was, make yourself flexible. Do whatever you need to do. You wouldn't say, oh, they gave me this thing to read and I went for something else. You would be, excited that they gave you something else, because that means they like you.
Yeah, but it's also a matter of self-identity and knowing what your brand is. And that's when we're doing Build a Brand of Influence, one of the courses that we offer at Acro Studio. It's what is your brand, right? What is it really that you're selling? And you may want to, hey, Venus Ginseng Power Time. I might want to sell this product because I think, hey, this is a great product and it works. I don't have to sell it. You just need to try it, and then you'll sell it yourself, right? But I'm not. I told you, better man up.
I am. But you know what? I don't expect, if something is really healthy for me,
you don't
I don't
expect
it to taste good. Yes.
That part.
I'm
you know
okay.
what it tastes like though? I figured it out. It's like a Malbec. Like a Malbec wine. If you like Malbec wine, buy it today.
Oh my God, you're so funny.
Isn't it?
I don't know Malbec. I'm a Chardonnay girl.
Yeah, I like Chardonnays too. But waiting tables, you learn a lot about wine. Look at her. She's like manning up.
That's good. I'm manning up. And you know what? Is it going to keep me up all night?
No.
Okay.
No caffeine. That's a great thing about this product, you guys. It's age. There's different types of ginseng. and I'll have to educate you on a different show because that's not what we're talking about. But since it's in my hand, there's white ginseng, there's red ginseng, and then there's black ginseng.
And that's what we're doing.
This is 100% black ginseng. A lot of people will say it has ginseng in it, but it's like 0.03%.
And this is
right?
100%.
That's 100%.
Wow, that's cool.
I think it's pretty cool, and it really does make a difference in your body. And when we're dealing with all these diseases, and we've got COVID that we're dealing with, and who knows what other variants coming our way, we need to do everything we can to boost our immunity and make sure that we're getting the most potent, authentic things possible that don't require a prescription.
Absolutely. And so
that's just me.
What's great is you could do this in between auditions.
That's
or
right.
But
each pack has 30 in them. So really one a day would do you. 10.
10.
10? There's only 10? 10, 20, 30. Oh, 10. For 1 month. Really? You sure?
I think you're thinking of the other one.
Oh,
we don't know.
All right.
Anyway, all I know is
I go through them like water.
And I'm getting rid of my other stuff, and I'm going to start taking this.
You got
on a regular basis.
It's really fun. That's what we want. We really want to be a community of givers, right?
Yes.
We want to give knowledge. We want to give health. We want to give advice.
We want to give
fun. Opportunities. We want to put you on TV. We want to help you get more auditions by teaching you techniques that are going to help your family. We're going to teach you the business side, like what contracts, what SAG.
Yep, 360.
The streaming service, right? Don't start.
Oh my gosh.
Don't start there.
Don't even go there now.
We'll
be a whole nother show, right?
But we go there.
Right.
Oh, we go deep.
Yeah, yeah. I was going to say something else, but then I don't want to get us up on another track, like NFTs and all that.
I know. We won't talk about it.
We're not talking about it. We're not talking about.
Don't talk about what you don't know about. We bring on somebody else who knows about that. We don't talk about what we don't know about.
Exactly.
But we going to know about it all up in here.
Yeah. We know it's good, but
we know.
Yeah, so we'll have our experts come on.
The great thing is that we're a community about the business of entertainment. I can't stress that enough.
Yeah.
It's not just, how did you get started? And tell me about, your first audition, and tell me when your biggest fear is. It's like, no. Okay, I drive, DoorDash, Uber Eats, I babysit, I dog walk, I make, $2,000 a month. How do I stretch that? And I have to get gas that's like $5 a gallon right now.
Yep.
And
or more.
Depending upon where you are. And how do I manage this? And what about my self-tape? Do I really need to get all new equipment? Really, do I need to have that, green screen? Do I, what do I need?
Headshots.
Headshots. How often? What should I submit for? Mm-hmm. And I really love getting into the psychology of you. Casting you.
Yes.
I want to cast you.
Okay, so I got a question.
And I have a whole course on casting you.
Okay, I got a question for you.
Mm-hmm.
So what was your biggest, as a casting director at America's Got Talent, what was your biggest success?
Well, I was really excited that one of the auditions I went to in Vegas, where we just were, since we're talking about Vegas, and since everybody who goes on America's Got Talent, like, we had Defying Gravity.
Oh.
They were there.
Oh.
That was my season.
Oh.
And Marty Shawshank, he was my season. And one that I personally found, because I would go, my team, we have a lot of people who did a lot of amazing work. Can't do it all by yourself.
Scouting, right?
They're casting producers, casting directors. Well, I'm the casting director. Supervising casting director.
Mm-hmm.
I was a supervising casting director. So I ran the department, and then I had casting producers, casting associates, casting PAs. So if you want to know more about the hierarchy and how all behind the scenes work, we can have a conversation about that too. That's also in the Ways of LA series.
Okay.
Because people don't know what's available to them when they're on their journey.
Right. Okay.
Right? Where they might end up.
Okay, that makes sense.
But I was in Vegas, to the point, and I went into this bar, and it was nobody there, really. Like, I couldn't believe it. I'm like, we're in Vegas, and it's like only like 300 people here. Like, what's up with that? I'm used to thousands. Like, don't trip. Where's all the people?
Mhm.
And then he walked in. And you don't need a lot of people. You just need that right people, the right person, the one person that it's for. And when Michael Grimm opened his mouth and I heard him, I was like, that's my winner right there.
Oh.
And I, with my team who had booked these people, we went in and we used to always go and watch them live. And so I'd take some of the trips too. We'd all split up and go to different cities. This happened in time. I went to Vegas and he was there and he ended up winning the season.
Wow. Wow.
And a lot of other people, you know, along the way that, you know, being able to, when I was there, we brought in the black light. That hadn't been done before. That was a fight, but it changed the game, right? And it took it in a different direction. I don't know if they wanted to continue, but there was so many, you know, light wire theater and different acts that we would have never known about if we hadn't been able to push that envelope a little bit and try something new and different. And that's what I loved about reality, why I did it for so long, why I do it still, because it's fun. It's like I love finding real characters, real people, real stories. There's nothing better than life. There's just nothing can imitate life. Life does not imitate art. The art comes from your world, and it comes from here, and it starts in here.
Okay, so what was the worst person you ever interviewed? Not interviewed, auditioned. What was the worst or the craziest or the most annoying, or can you think of anything
When
that happened?
I had a duo come in, and it was a parent-child, and the parent sang more than the child, and basically upstate the kid.
Upstage a kid, their own kid.
Upstate their own kid. And I'm just like, wait, whose audition is it? You should go get in line
For your
by
own.
yourself.
For your own, right,
Because
right.
the kid stole the show, right?
Right.
And then you'll have people who come in. And the thing is that, you know, I love the song Amazing Grace, but I don't love it 1,000 times
Okay.
in one day.
Okay. Is that
So my first point of nice little tip, go prepared with at least 3 songs.
Oh, in case they say,
No, it ain't. Well, yes. Okay.
okay.
You want 3 because 1, just for what I just said, if you get in and you have 10 people in line and 4 of them have sang Amazing Grace, you want to get another song.
Right.
Like, just to stand out, right?
Right.
Then if you sing that song and they can't clear it, which you don't know that that's why they want you to sing another song, you're just like, well, what was wrong with that? And I'm like, well, we can't clear Michael Jackson, so we need you to sing something else. So don't do a show tune.
Oh, don't do shit. What
Don't
do you
do a
mean
show tune.
clear? What do you say clear?
So
What's that mean?
when you go on television, there's something called ASCAP and different music industry watch dogs.
Okay. Watchdogs?
Libraries.
Okay.
Right? So you want like a music library.
Oh, now I get it.
So
Okay.
when you have a music library, it has a license attached to it.
Okay.
And a fee and a royalty. So if the royalty or the fee is too high for the use of that music, they'll have to cut it out.
Oh, so that's clearing.
Right. And
okay.
so when you do an audition, it's all live. It really is live. It's live to tape, right? Just like what we're doing, we're
Right.
not. It's not edited and all that stuff.
Right.
So that's the same thing when you go in the audition. So if you're there and you're in real time, I would a show tune's just going to blow it out. So I can't really hear your voice because it's not theater, right?
Mm-hmm.
Unless you're doing theater, then you're doing show tunes all day. Just like they won the Emmy for the Bridgerton Girls.
Yay!
Shout,
For
shout,
a
shout, shout, shout.
non-official Go Girls. Oh my god.
Love to have you on the show.
Awesome.
Love to have you on the show. Love you to call in. I would love to talk to you about that.
Oh my god.
Because I'm so proud of you guys. Like, that's what I'm talking about. Those girls are bomb. They're bars.
Wow. They just show you.
They just
get
show
in
you
there.
you can get it and get it done.
Yeah.
There is no shortage. Everybody's a star. It's in your own life, right? You hear it all the time, but you are a star in your own life. We just want to help you shine more and be comfortable in the spotlight.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to go back to your. So, what's the third music, or did you cover them all 3? And I
If
missed
you
it.
go and do one, and somebody's playing it Don't do a show tune. And the second is just because we can't clear, we want to hear another song. So
Okay.
you want to have something prepared. And let's say also you want to have an a cappella version as well as a music version. Because let's say you get there, there's no audio for some reason.
Oh.
They have a shortage. The lights go out. And they just had the camera generator, right? So
Okay.
you waited 8 hours in line to go in there, and you needed your your iPod or your whatever to play, and it didn't
It's
play.
not working.
And they're like, "Well, just sing us something." You're like, "Oh, I need my music."
Oh, diva.
Oh, I
So
can't do it.
acapellas by themselves,
You
without
must
anything.
be able to sing a cappella.
Okay, without
Oh,
any
so those
instrument.
are the 3 tips. I think they're pretty good because I saw a lot of people.
Okay.
And that's how you don't ruin your opportunity or miss your blessing.
Okay.
You don't want to miss a blessing by not being prepared. Again,
Beautiful.
Acro Studio Lounge podcast gives you all this kind of insight. And the longer and the more shows we do, the more incredible information and people we're going to have. And just completely share and share and share.
Yeah.
And then the best part that I can't wait to announce.
What?
Ready?
Yes.
We'll wait till Phil gets on.
Okay.
We'll do it after the show.
Okay.
Hey, if you want to know a hot scoop, go to Acro Studio Lounge and .com. No, acrostudio.com.
.com.
Click on it and you'll see the Acro Studio. Click on that. You'll see the after the show stuff. And that's when we're just going to chat. And I got a new bottle of wine that we have to try because they're a sponsor. So we're going to have that and talk a little more shop about what's coming up next. And what's in store. So that's kind of a reason to subscribe. And subscribe right now,
Yes.
right there.
Yes, and if you know anybody that's looking to get in the business, it doesn't matter who you are, what you're looking for, just go to actrealstudio.com and we will get you signed up.
Yeah, we just want to,
Class.
as I say, people come to me oftentimes, and all I really think they need is a little mentorship.
Yep.
That's why I got me
Yep.
one.
Yep.
And a little direction. And I'm just sharing the resources and all the amazing people that I've met along the way with you. And I think it was necessary. And I really would have I wouldn't have had as much anxiety, I think. I think if I'd had more people like you guys on my team, and if I had a place like Acro Studio that it wasn't just about, a number or paying me to come, but I really want you to win. Like, your win is my win. I don't win if you don't win. There's no win. There's no I in team, but there's an I in win, and that's what I want for you.
Yep. Exactly.
That's it.
I'm
That's
excited.
all we all want.
Yes, I'm excited. So
We're getting
the
started.
whole team.
We're getting
Woo-hoo!
started. You'll keep meeting more and more of the team members, so you just keep listening in, and we're getting these classes off the ground.
Yep.
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Love you.
All right. Love you too. Mwah.